Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Sri Sri Radha Parthasarati ki jai, Sri Sri Gaurantai ki jai, Sitaram Lakshma Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tai Gur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srmad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, the characteristic King Puranjana. Start by the word in Sanskrit. Sunasam Sudatim Palam Sukapolam Varanamam Sama Vinyasta Karnavyam Vibrantim Kundalasriyam Sunasam Sudatim Balam Sunasam Sudatim Balam Sukapolam Varananam Sukapolam Varananam Samavinyasta Karnavyam Samavinyasta Karnavyam Vivratim Kundalasriyam Vivratim Kundalasriyam Sunasam Sudatim Balam Sukapolam Varananam Samavinyasta Karnavyam Vivratim Kundalasriyam Sunasam Sudatim Balam Sukapolam Varananam Samavinyasta Karnavyam Vivratim Kundalasriyam. Mataji. Sunasam, very beautiful nose, excuse me. Sudatim, very beautiful teeth. Balam, the young women. Sukapolam, nice forehead. Varananam, beautiful face. Sama, equally. Vinyasta, arranged. Karmavyam, both here. Vibratim, dazzling. Sundala Sriyam, having beautiful hearing. So we read translation and purport by His Divine Grace, HC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The women's nose, teeth, and forehead were all very beautiful. Her hair were equally very beautiful and were bedecked with dazzling hearing. Purport. The body of intelligence enjoyed the object of sense gratification that covered it, such as smell, vision, and hearing. The word sunasam, beautiful nose, indicate the organ for acquiring knowledge by smell. Similarly, the mouth is the instrument for acquiring knowledge by taste. For by seeing an object and touching it with the tongue, we can understand the taste. The word sukapolam, nice forehead, indicate a clear brain capable of understand things as they are. By intelligence, one can see things in order. The hearing sit upon the two here are placed there by the word of the intelligence. Thus, the way of acquiring knowledge are described metaphorically. Om Gyanat Mirandasya Gyananshana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Narayanam Namaskrita Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Shayam Udirayet Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitanyena Bhutale Svayam Rupakanam Mayam Dadatyeva Padam Tikam Vandeham Sri Guru Syuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrahatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Brisavanu Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sunasam Sudatim Balam Sukapolam Varananam Samavinyasta Karnavyam Vibratin Kundala Sriyam. The women nose, teeth and forehead were all very beautiful. Her hair were equally very beautiful and were bedecked with dazzling herring. So the women appear like the intelligence. And the consciousness is the husband. So the intelligence act according with the consciousness. If the consciousness is material, the intelligence act in material level, discriminate. What is better, what I have to do, what I have not to do in material levels. So the perfection is when the consciousness is Krishna consciousness. The sense are the instrument, the perception. We have perception like in one screen. No? In one screen appear different situation and also different song. So the sense then are the instrument of all perception. And the mind, she follow two processes, sankalpa and vikalpa, accepted and refused. I like that, I don't like that, permanently. So if one have to live 70, 80 years old with no any instruction, the permanently one follow the mind. I want that, I don't want that. And the sense work help the mind permanently. But the sense act by the vital air. No? They are prana, apana, udana, vyana, samana. This air is the force, the stimul of the sense. The sense act by the fire air. This fire air is the vehicle of the soul. Everyone have one vehicle, no? Like Shiva, he have one vehicle, Brahma have one vehicle, or Ganesh also. Everyone have one vehicle. And the Jivatma have one vehicle also. The vehicle is this five air, material air, prana, apana, udana, vyana, samana. So wherever the soul, wherever the Jivatma go, is always transported by this air. When the Jivatma leave the body and go to take another body, is always transported by this five air. So this story here, in this story, the Prachinavarisat, the king Prachinavarisat, he got instruction directly by Narada Muni. Narada Muni understood the consciousness of Prachinavaritat. It was not pure consciousness. He was karma kandiya. He was expert in karma kanda. So he performed sacrifice. But in the sacrifice is always some material interest. So Narada Muni, he tried to change the aim of the king Prachinavarisat. Because the aim of the king was not Krishna Prema. Even he educate all the sons, educate in a diplomatic way, because he want all the sons engaged in the administration of the kingdom. So Narada Muni, he transformed the consciousness of all the sons in two opportunities. And now he started to preaching directly the king. The king was very fortunate. The king was very fortunate because he got instruction directly by Narada Muni. Brahma, he was in charge of the creation of the world. The Kumara was in charge of the knowledge. Shesha, the responsibility of Shesha was to maintain all the universe. And the responsibility of Narada Muni was the Bhakti Yoga. So Prachinavarisat, is not an ordinary person, because he get instruction, he get teaching directly by Narada Muni. There is 5 kapra. In Hindi say kapra. I don't know in English. Kapra, covering. The kapra. There is 5 kapra covering the living entity. One of these kapra is the false ego, ahankara. The tendency of the false ego is to generate atheism. Another kapra covering the living entity is avidya, ignorance. Another one is material attachment. When the aim of the person is material, there is always very strong attachment. And by this attachment, one born again. Srila Prabhupada gives some example of attachment. In one opportunity, Srila Prabhupada, he walked in the morning with his disciple, and in one moment he stopped and he indicated one point, and he asked the devotees, what is the meaning of that? So all the devotees look, and there was one small area full of stool of bird. And nobody understands what is the meaning of that. So Srila Prabhupada explained that means attachment. On the park where they work, there is quantity of different kind of trees, and every tree has many branches. But there is one bird, he come every evening, he come to stay, to sleep in the same branch, in the same place. So in the body of this living there is one conditional, so there is one jivatma, and the tendency of the false ego is always to be attached in one place. For that Sis Goswami of Vrindavan, and then try to sleep every night down one different trees. Because one developed attachment very, very easily. So there was so many branches in the park, but one bird, he came every night in the same place because he was attached with the place. And the proof was during night he passed stool. And there was plenty stool, only one place. So the material attachment covering the living entity, the conditional soul. In the side of Indonesian, the people sometimes do some kind of sacrifice. And to do this sacrifice, they need one monkey alive. And that is difficult to catch one monkey alive. So then used one box, Indonesia and Sumatra, and decide and do this sacrifice. Then put one box with one hole. In by the hole put one banana. So the monkey, he come down and put the hands by the hole and take the banana. And after understand he cannot put the hands out of the box. So one man coming with one stick to knock out him. And he complained and become agitated and do anything, but he don't leave the banana. And by this attachment, he lose the freedom. And this is the situation of conditional soul. By attachment, we lose our freedom. Srila Prabhupada say on the spiritual world, the pure devotees are completely free like Krishna. The freedom of Krishna and the devotees is the same. They are completely free. So the more pure is the consciousness, more large is the freedom. And more animal become the consciousness, more straight, more small is the freedom. For that people, materialist people, by the activities, material activities, the consciousness become more and more contaminated. More contaminated are the persons, more small is the freedom. And by sinful activities, one reaching one point of the end of the life with one consciousness completely animal. So leave the body and take animal body. And what is the problem? No? Some people, some materialist people say, baby, to live like animal is not bad. But the problem is the animal have no freedom, cannot use the intelligence to discriminate what I have to do, what I have not to do. On Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there is the process of surrender, how to surrender. And the first point is to accept everything what is favorable. And the second point is to reject everything what is not favorable. So, the intelligence work in this selection according with the consciousness. For that, Narada Muni explained the consciousness is the husband of the intelligence. And the intelligence act according with the order of the consciousness. So one have the two possibilities: serve Bhakti Devi or serve Maya Devi. There is no another possibility. Actually, in Kali Yuga, everybody we can call Puranjana, all the materialist people, Puranjana. What mean Puranjana? Puranjana means within the body. He work for the body. Everything what he do is for the comfort of the body. And who is the responsible of all these activities? The responsible of all body activities is the mind. For that, by follow the process, by following the principle of Bhakti Yoga, the mind becomes more and more and more sanctified. So the desire of the mind becomes more and more spiritual. Everyone got this experience before to join International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Yet another interesting. After 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, the interesting changed completely. This interesting we got before is completely forgotten in the past. So we are separate energy. We are separate energy of Krishna because our interesting are little bit separate. What Krishna want from us? What Krishna want? Krishna want our pure consciousness. Because by pure consciousness we can participate in the pastime. By the pure consciousness we can go back to Godhead. So this is the interesting of Krishna, our pure consciousness. Materialist people have the interesting is completely material. On the beginning, the devotee on the first year, he gets interesting spiritual, but also material. This is the consciousness, mixed consciousness. So the perfection is when our interesting and the interesting of Krishna become a unity of interesting. Understand? This unity of interesting is called Krishna Prema. Because Krishna like us, Krishna want we come back with him. In one moment we do some mistake. In one moment we decide to separate of Krishna. So he very merciful. Where if we leave Krishna, if we are in the spiritual world and we leave Krishna, where we go? So by this interesting, he created the Mahatattva. In reality, we created the Mahatattva. From the moment when we want to be separate of Krishna, we must go somewhere. So by this separate interesting, there appear the Mahatattva. And when the Mahatattva is created, the first thing manifested is Kala, the time. And the time make round everybody. The time, Kala, represent the activity of God in this material world. Everybody round by Kala. Everybody is in anxiety because Kala push the time. But in the spiritual world, Kala is just servant. Here everybody round by Kala. Here and there. On morning time you see everybody round here and there. Kala, push, the time. Even devotees get problem of time. No? But in the spiritual world, Kala is just a servant. So we spoke about false ego. This is one cover of contamination. Avidya, ignorance covering. Ignorance means we don't know what is the aim. So if we don't know, when one don't know what is the aim, he live only for eating, sleeping, meeting, only material interesting. And the other kapra is material attachment. Another one is envy. Envy is like fire. And another cup of contamination is the material consciousness. So Narada Muni, he tried to make some transformation in the consciousness of Prachina Varisat. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Viewing our permanence in the material world, we will get always some difficulties. We got in the Srmad Bhagavatam so many stories, and there is always some difficulty. Even the devas in the superior planet then get difficulties viewing them. The characteristic of this material world is the difficulties. But when one become attached and born again during so many lives, one become, difficulties is something familiar, is something normal. Even then, this is the jail. The material world is the jail of Durga. And Durga, the power of Durga, that reach everywhere inside the jail. north, south, east, west, north, east, south, east, north, west, south, west. Everywhere is the power of Durga. So there is different process of spiritual realization. Even the Vedic process is undirected. For example, Prachina Varisat, he was expert in Karma Kanda. The Vedas is divided in three parts, no? Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda. Prachina Varisat, he was expert in Karma Kanda. Also Hiranyakashipu. Karma Kanda is the mechanism of material activities. And so many people, materialist people, then are very enthusiastic by the instruction of Karma Kanda. Then get some enthusiasm, because then see there is, in Karma Kanda, there is possibility to have a more nice situation. Here we suffering, but there up in the superior planet, we can have a very nice life. But the devotee never accepted it. Devotee have not interesting about to have nice situation inside the jail. Inside the jail also, some people stay 30, 40 years in the jail. And this is the wall of them. Then they have no interest in to go outside. If sometimes somebody come to say, from tomorrow you are free, you can go out of the jail. He become afraid. Because he's spent 30, 40 years inside the jail. And in the material world is the same. After so many life, we think suffering, adhyatmika. The suffering is the klesha, the adhyatmika klesha, the bhautika klesha, the daivika klesha is something normal. Huh? The really life is not that. Satchitananda. This is a really life. So by the instruction of the great personality, we can perfect our life, we can perform devotional activities, and the consciousness become more and more pure. And this is what Srila Prabhupada wants. Srila Prabhupada, he founded the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So what Krishna wants is our pure consciousness. Shuddha Chetasa, in Sanskrit say, Shuddha Chetasa, the pure consciousness. And this personality then give instruction how to have the Prati Buddha. Prati Buddha means the perfect intelligence. By the perfect intelligence, we can get very clear the aim. And when the aim is very clear, we can perform the pure devotional service. Uttama Bhakti. To practice Uttama Bhakti, it's necessary first to understand how we are insignificant. We see the example of the great personalities. then look themselves like something very insignificant. Srila Prabhupada explained that. He said, when we understand how we are small, in this moment we can start to practice Uttama Bhakti. If someone thinks I am great devotee, that is not pure consciousness. That is not the Prati Buddha, it's not the perfect intelligence. So Narada Muni, he gave a very good example. No? The consciousness is the husband of the intelligence. And the intelligence discriminate according with the consciousness. In the perception of everyone, there appear so many situations every day. And the mind accepted or rejected permanently. For that, by this direct process, Bhakti Yoga, the mind becomes more and more spiritualized. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So I ask, excuse me, my English is 20%. So now I think some devotee will read something. I have difficulty to read English.
Okay. Today is the...
So, thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Today is the disappearance of Srila Govind Ghosh. So I am reading from this book. Sri Govind Ghosh was known for his sweet kirtanas at the annual Jagannath Rath Yatra festival. He and his two brothers, Vasudev and Madhav, are eternal associates of Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda. The Lord would immediately begin dancing whenever the Ghosh brothers would sing. The Ghosh brothers preached throughout their lives with music and song. Since he had no children, Govinda wondered who would perform his funeral rites. Sri Gopinath, Govinda Ghosha's deity, appeared in a dream, promising that he himself would do everything. Still today, the Gopinath deity arranges for the Tirobhav Mahotsav, Disciples' Day festival of his pure devotee, Govinda Ghosh. As Kalavati Sakhi, Govind Ghosh sings sweetly for Radha Govindji in Golok, Vrindavan. His samadhi is in the 64 Samadhis area. Srila Govind Ghosh
Srmad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Partha Sarati ki jai. Sitaram Lakshma Hanuman ki jai. Gauranitai ki jai. Tai Gur Premanande. Thank you for your